Matt just hit on the O-lineman, so I'll pass those guys up. That's good. We'll let you guys get to talking to these guys, but just overall philosophy, and I kind of hit it on back in December signing, but we still want to be recruiting high school kids, right? There's different philosophies out there with the portal, just like you see in the NFL. Some teams go heavy free agency in the NFL, trying to go all in and win a Super Bowl and then take a step back the next couple of years. I still think in order to sustain success, you still have to build it through high school recruiting, and that won't change here. But the portal has been good for us to add pieces, add depth, add experience to come in, and we kind of targeted these players and positions of areas that we needed to bring in guys with experience. And like Coach said, we'll be looking post-spring kind of what we need. The good thing is, though, having those 21 guys come in mid-year, we're going to get a great look at those guys to really say, hey, we thought we needed, let's just say, for example, a linebacker, but those young guys coming in, I mean, we feel really good about them. So that's the benefit, again, of high school recruiting and getting guys to come in early, and it gives you 21 extra guys to come in, which never really happened in the past. You might have 8 to 10 guys. 21 is very high, and we're excited about that. Starting on the defensive side of the ball first, Jakeem Harris, obviously that's an interesting transfer going from a in-state rival to here. That's the nature of the portal now. Everybody's just looking for an opportunity to go and compete and play. The great thing about Jakeem, as soon as he hit the portal, he was able to drive over however many miles over here on campus, and we were able to visit with him. Just getting around him, he is you can tell how important football is to him. He's tough as crap. Had the injury this year or would have played all year, but he's back full speed. He'll be ready to go. But he's got over 40 games of experience, 22 games starting. We needed to bring a guy with experience, obviously losing Don and Gio to match with Stick and Will Hardy and those guys that are veterans back there. So for us, he's a ball hog, very instinctive. You can see on tape, physical, and then the most important thing at that position is the tackling, because you're the last line of defense. Get the ball carrier down and live to play another down. So we're very excited about him, and he has been awesome since he's been here. He's got a great smile, engaging personality. I think he'll be one of the leaders on this team, and the team has really embraced him coming over, and he looks much better in Carolina blue than he did in red. Going to offense, Coach kind of hit on Austin Blasky. I think for us, a couple things on Austin why we liked, first of all, the tape is, he's played tackle, he's played center. For us, he'll go through spring, kind of figure out where he fits, but probably be on the interior, center, or guard. But he's just so smart and so versatile. He's a plug-and-play guy for us, and we're excited to get him. He has a lot of characteristics, traits of a Corey Gaynor, just because he's so tough, he's smart. When he came on his visit, he came to practice, and you can just tell guys that just love football, and he was just following the offensive line, taking notes, engaging with the offensive linemen, and he's already taken over, like Coach said, a leadership role here. He's always working out with the younger guys and developing those guys. So I think he's going to be a valuable piece for us, a la Corey Gaynor, who really, it's more than just your talent and your playing ability, but it's how you bring those other guys, those 5 guys along. So him and Willie will be step up and be leaders for us on the O-line. Darwin Barlow, we were looking for a running back that had size. We were looking for a running back that had speed, and he fits both those. 6 foot, 220. He was a 10-7 100-meter coming out of high school with our new offense in the inside zone, just being able to hit it and go. So we really liked his tape. He's for a guy that's been out 4 or 5 years, doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on the body, which at the running back position is always huge. Guys that aren't banged up coming in. So we're really excited about him. He's got really, really good hands. So he's going to be a weapon for us out of the backfield in pass pro. Like, he's got the size to do that. But he's been great to have and really been gotten along with the players well since he's been here. Jake Johnson, obviously we got the brothers, but they were really independent recruiting of the two. It wasn't just, hey, we're going to take these 2 guys as a package deal or anything like that. We were taking each one of them independent of their own. We think they're both great players. Jake Johnson has ideal length and size, 6'5.5", 240. He's got the athleticism and the pass catching ability that we look for in the tight end. Obviously, we've had a lot of success at the tight end position the last couple of years. We bring back a lot of those guys, so he'll just add to that. He's actually got 3 years because there was an error on the A&M side where they listed 5 games, but we called them out on it, and they corrected it thanks to Jeremy. So he actually redshirted one of those years, so we have 3 years with him. But he's an NFL guy. He's a prototypical NFL guy. He's got great hands, natural ability. I remember looking at him when he was coming out of Georgia, and he was one of the top-ranked tight ends in the country. So we're excited really to have him. Obviously, when you talk about him and Max, just the bloodlines with Dad Brad playing in the league. Mom was I wouldn't say all-American volleyball player, and obviously the uncle is Coach Rick. So the bloodlines are good in the Johnson family. Getting to Max, we really wanted a guy that was a veteran. We wanted a guy that's played tough competition. We wanted a guy with some height, and we wanted a guy that's accurate, and then between the ears is a football savant, and that's what Max is. So we're extremely excited to get him, and the best part about getting Max, it's only going to make Connor better. And we still love Connor, and those two guys are going to battle it out going into the spring, but he's been awesome being here. Like Coach said, he's always on the field with those guys. Really embraced the leadership role and trying to bring guys along to go throw. He's extremely accurate. And then you can see he really does a great job standing in the pocket, taking hits. He's played against really good defenses, and he's done a really good job. He's played since he was a redshirt freshman at that quarterback position, and I think he's going to really help us and really, again, push that quarterback room along. Howard Sampson, last one, obviously 6'8", 325. So when we're looking for a tackle in the portal, the first thing we look for is the size and length, because that beats anything. It beats, you can have poor footwork, poor technique, but if you have the length to recover and play that position, that just sets you apart. So he's got that. Obviously, Randy recruited him when he was at North Texas, so we had a leg up there as far as the character piece, intelligence piece, all the background, which again is huge in the portal because it's like drinking through a fire hose. You got 48 hours to really figure out if you want this guy, and then you got to get him on campus, and you got to battle these other teams. So for us, having Randy recruit him out of high school was huge. But he is, when you see him, he looks like he should be on the basketball team. But he does not look 325 either. He's got room to gain and get stronger, but he's going to be a valuable piece for us. And like Coach said, 3 years with a body type like that is huge for us. And those are the guys.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, man. Do you guys want to ask Pat anything? Or do you want to get right into the guys?
Oh, I have a question just real quick on Jaheim. Obviously, you mentioned he did have the injury last year. He's an experienced guy. What kind of allowed him to be as high on you all's radar as he was? Even kind of looking at it saying, hey, we know he was injured in this time. What kind of allowed him to remain high on you guys' radar?
Well, I think it always depends on what type of injury it is. Some injuries are not as bad as others, and so we felt comfortable with the injury first of all. Second of all, he's playing in the league, so there's a lot of comp. He's playing the same teams that we play against, and we've seen him play. So as soon as we hit the portal, we knew who he was and that he was a good player. I had recruited him a little bit out of high school from Benedictine down in Savannah, so I had a little background. He had a brother that played at Georgia Southern. So I kind of knew what he was about, but you turn on the film and you can see what he's about and the physicality and the tackling that we're looking for at the position. And again, like I said, it's always easy. Most guys are trying to schedule an official visit. They got to get here and fly. We're like, hey, can you come over to the facility? And 15 minutes later, he was here. So,
you guys are working hard to get to $5 million. Other schools have $13, $15 million in NIL money.
allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, how do you compete against that if it is true?
No, I mean, I look at it as, we're not the NFL, because the NFL has salary caps, and they're able to, as a general manager, I'd be able to say, okay, this guy gets this, that. We have to stay out of the money piece. Obviously, that's up to Heels for Life and the collectives to do that. We're basically baseball, all right? There's no salary caps. You have to figure out who fits your roster and within whatever budget or everything you have with your collective. So I really think within the next couple of years, I mean, you can see all that's happening with everybody suing the NCAA. I figure I might just go out and sue the NCAA today because everybody else is. But I think we're headed towards something here sooner than we think. You know, I'm hoping we get to where it's collective bargaining and everybody makes something because they deserve it. And if we would have just done this at the beginning, we probably wouldn't be in the position we're in. But I, you know, whatever Heels for Life is able to raise, we're going to go out and do the best and get the best players we can. You know, I'm a big fan of Moneyball and all that kind of stuff. So if that's what we got, that's what we got. So, but we can be competitive where we're at because we don't just recruit guys that are just looking for the short-term monetary gain. This school, you know, the long-term monetary gain from going to the school, obviously the academic piece of it, but just these guys want to know, they want to go to a place where they can get developed and get to the next level. And so that's still one of the most important things, but we got to continue to raise our NIL, and hopefully here soon, people smarter than me will come up with a good way for these guys to get some money.
Pat, who do you think should, go ahead.
Sort of along the lines of Jakeem with Max Johnson, obviously he checks off what you're looking for with what you said, but the injury history there, how much of that was a concern when you're evaluating, you know, just like, you know, his health?
Yeah, again, you always look at the injuries and say, what type of injury is it? There's a big difference between broken bones and ligament damage. So for us, we're not concerned about it. You know, playing in the league he played in, you're going to get bumps and bruises. But we're just excited to have him. We don't think any of his injuries will have any effect on him going forward.
Is he fine now, or is he limited in any way? I mean, can he work, no restrictions?
No restrictions, yep.
Going back to what you were saying a minute ago, how much is that ruling about Dartmouth basketball going to speed everything up that you're talking about?
Well, it's interesting. I just read something a second ago. They actually, our compliance put all the lawsuits together on one sheet of paper. So it's like a lawsuits for dummies page. And,
He's on a roll today.
and basically, yeah, no, I had my coffee this morning. So they're basically saying the ruling with Dartmouth only allows them now to form a union and be part of collective bargaining. It does not talk about employment status, minimum wage, those type of things. So if you look at the fine print, which I'm all for, like I said, collective bargaining, they want to unionize, get a set, whether it's coming from the conference or whatever it is, where they get a set price. But I don't know if you actually sat down with players and say, here's what being an employee is, if they would want to. You're going to get taxed on your tickets, you're going to get taxed on your gear, you're going to get taxed on all this kind of stuff. I think they would rather say, let's just do the collective bargaining and get some money in our pocket and then continue on with the name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
Who do you think should be at the forefront of kind of like getting everybody on the same page?
JV, let's leave Pat from dealing with that. Let's talk to Archer.
I do have a question about like the process, because you do have to keep the collective is separate from you. So what does that kind of look like as you're looking at a transfer, and then like obviously it's almost like a bidding war out there at amorphous that we don't know about. So what does it look like for you working with the collective, working with the transfers?
Yeah, and that's where all the fake news comes out, because they can't talk to anybody until they come on campus and are enrolled. So any coach that's telling a player before they enroll, you're going to make this is speaking out of turn. And you can see the NCAA is kind of cracking down on some of these teams with what's been going on. Again, you know, whoever kind of put us in this situation, but that's something that they always have to negotiate with the day they come on school. They're able to talk to our collective, and that's up to them.
Adam, last one.
With Barlow, what was the sales pitch there when you have one of the best running backs in college football that, you know, can carry the ball 30 times a game? Like just what's that conversation like with him when he knows, you know, that Omarion's here in the season that he had?
Yeah, I think, again, the running back position has the shortest shelf life of anybody when you're talking about the NFL. So taking carries off your body but still being productive. You know, I grew up in a time where it was Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson and Eddie Lacy and TJ Yeldon. So you always had a 1-2 punch that's not only going to help Omarion, you know, take carries off his body, but it's going to help Darwin as well. So I think you always have to have 2 or 3 guys at that position ready to go. And so for him, he he knew about Army. He just wanted to be part of it and really liked the scheme and the offense that we run.
Good stuff.
Cool.